Hi everyone, welcome to Unit 4, Web Literacies. We're moving right along with this semester, and by the end of this unit we will be at spring break, which is basically the halfway point of the semester. So hang in there. I know it's can get hectic at times being a student and fulfilling your other roles in your life. So hang in there and keep doing the best you can. In this unit, we're going to focus on, as it says, web literacies. And so the questions that the unit is guided by are: what exactly is web literacy? Why is it important? And who teaches it? And we've talked a little bit about some of these things already, especially in the discussion that I was in earlier this week. So our objectives are for you to be able to define what web literacy is, and then to identify a web literacy model, which you have already been reading about in your text. So that one should come pretty easily. Now, the topic of web literacy fits under this little roadmap that we've been operating on. So we started with information literacy, seeking information, whether it's print or digital, and being able to find it, understand it, use it, make sense of it, share it with other people. And then we zoomed in a little bit closer on digital literacy and knowing how to use the digital tools that let you find, understand, use information. And now we're going to narrow down to web literacy. And we're going to focus in on specifically finding information online. So we're not just talking about reading digitally. We're not talking about reading iBooks or reading books you might find on the Epic website or Tumble Books or some other online website. We're talking about reading actually websites and the uniqueness of that kind of reading. So that's what we're going to focus in on in this unit. For the unit, you are going to be reading some more in our textbook. Chapter 6 is going to focus on understanding, and that really delves into understanding how to find resources. So it looks at search engines, and you'll see a really nice, at least I think, a nice list of alternative search engines beyond Google, especially ones that are geared for children. Then in Chapter 7, we'll delve into evaluating and how do we help children really look closely at the quality of the information that they find online. And then Chapter 8, synthesizing. So once they find this information, and sometimes it's loads of information that somehow they have to narrow down into something that's usable, how do they synthesize that information? So here's where we're really applying the reading strategy of synthesis to reading on a website. And those 3 chapters. And then once you, well, it doesn't necessarily have to be once you finish those, but in addition to those, I have some things for you to view. And this is quite a little bit longer list than we've had in our past units. Don't let this be overwhelming to you. Some of the things on here are merely suggestions for you to take a peek at, not that you necessarily have to explore all of the resources. For instance, Kathy Schrock's critical evaluation website. She has tons of great stuff, and I want you to know that it's there. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to look closely at all of it, but I hope that you'll at least try out all of the resources on this list for your viewing. And then the activity for this unit gives you the chance to design a search engine comparison activity for students. So something that could apply to the age level of students that you're currently working with, or if you're not in the classroom right now, students that you might like to be working with the next time that you're in the classroom. So the activity asks you to use one of the search engines in Chapter 6, or there's an alternative one with a link in Unit 4. And then identify your grade level, your topic of the activity, and test it out. Actually try out the search engine comparison activity. So you're going to have a topic and you're going to search for results on more than one search engine, and you're going to compare those results, just like you might have students do in this type of activity. And then you're going to describe how this could work in a classroom. So that's due on March 2nd, coming up next week. And then on March 9th, that's when basically your response to what you've read and viewed, that's when that's due. And this time I'm going to ask you to respond by creating a list of your top 5 ideas that you pulled out of the 3 chapters and the things that you viewed, the things that really stood out to you as being the most important, and an explanation for each of those ideas. And you'll post that in the discussion board for the Unit 4 summary, and then respond to others in that discussion. Then the second discussion for that unit looks at how do we teach children to think critically, and that's specifically related to web literacies. And the question, is Google making us stupid? And this question is the title of an article that I'd like you to just take a glance at. It's a really short article. It's a few years old, but I think it's still relevant, and it's in a web, it's the Atlantic Monthly. And so it's available online. So it's a quick read and really makes, at least it really made me think. So those will be our 2 topics for the discussion board. So again, as before, you can choose whether you want to make contributions on the discussion board or you want to join us for our live chat on March 8th. Please take note, this live chat is on a Tuesday evening. The first 2 had been on Monday evenings. This one is on a Tuesday evening, thinking that I might be able to catch some people that might be busy on Monday nights. So that's why I tried a different night. So that's the next assignment. And then the last assignment in this unit is for you to gather a list of some resources that you're going to use for your inquiry project. So you designed your question. Now I want you to start looking for some resources. And I would like you to create a reference list following APA style that we've already practiced, and that's what you'll submit. So on this list are things that you think you might use. Now, as you delve farther into the project and you may find out, oh, this really wasn't as helpful as I thought it was, it's fine to adapt your list later on in the project, but I want to see that you're getting started and you're looking for those resources. So I would encourage you to use the William Allen White Library that we have at campus to help you gather those resources, whether it's looking for a journal article, or if there's a book and you want to request that from Interlibrary Loan and have that mailed directly to you, that's an option to you as a distance student. It's actually an option too for journal articles. If there's an article that you find that you think, oh, this is just perfect, but we don't own the journal at the ESU library, you can request that journal article, and it can be accessed for you by a librarian through Interlibrary Loan and sent to you as an electronic file to your email. So please don't let distance be a barrier to utilizing our library. You are paying for the library through your tuition and fees. Please do take advantage of the library as a resource. There's a live chat box that comes up, so if you're not sure how to find something, the librarians are really friendly and helpful, and they will be glad to get you down the road finding the resources that you need for your project. So, as always, if you have questions that come up during the unit, please send them along. If you're still struggling with APA style, please don't hesitate to ask. That's what I'm here for. So hopefully this unit will be a good one for you and for your learning. Take care.